All right. All right. All right. Seems like we are live. Good. Cool. All right. Let's wait and see who joins. I'm eager to talk about 5.2 for sure. And I'm testing also the latest addition to my rig, and that's an Atom um, Mini Pro. So let's see how it goes. This is the first time that I'm streaming through another computer that is not my computer. So I'm using the Atom Mini to do the actual streaming. So let's see how it goes. Um, all right, so let's see. Let me join through my phone so I know who is going to be here. No. Right. Here we are. Cool. All right, that's it. I'm set. Now I can see who is going to join. Right now it's just me. But again, this is just, mainly a test. So let's see who turns up. So, hello. All right. So I feel like this is working. Let me check out Unreal. Also working. Let's go here. All right, that's good. Now it says cut. It shouldn't be cut. It should be like this. Couple of seconds. Now what would happen if I go here and here? Boo. All right, cool. So I have my monitor here and everything seems to be working great. So 5.2 amazing is here, and we it comes with surprises, like with every, let me just go here so you can see, with every release of Unreal we have many gifts, and in this case we have two that already are working for Unreal Engine 5.2. One of those is the ML, the former sample. This one looks cool. Like, this one is the next thing that I'm going to download and start testing it, mainly because we're going to have like a new character, and I'm hoping that this character may have like everything like control rig. It should be some sort of metahuman as far as I know. And of course we're going to have a metahuman with new clothes, and that is what we all want, right? Like more clothes for the metahumans to have a little bit of customizing experience. This part with the actual muscles is impressive. This thing is going to be so cool. The actual school is a little bit, maybe it's the perspective. Oh no, he is a little bit yeah. All right, so this thing says the machine learning, the former sample demonstrate how Unreal Engine's ML technology can be used to create high fidelity next generation characters with deformation driven by full muscles, flesh, and cloth simulation. The cool thing is that it works with everything in between. That thing is going to be impressive if you don't see like any, I don't know, maybe I'm thinking that the cloth is going to be on top of the flesh. It might not be the case. It might be, another character, that doesn't have any flesh beneath the cloth. But anyway, it looks so well. So let's see if this is going to be the start of. Hey, Franco, How are you? All right, I'm testing this thing. Let me know if everything looks great and if everything sounds great. Because yeah, I'm testing the new thing. All right. So yeah, I was looking at the new gifts. We have new gifts on the mail. Like the content example also is working for 5.2. This one I already downloaded, so it's this one right here. So I was too eager, to get it because I wanted to see if we had some, map for the new stuff. For the most part, nope. There is nothing about procedural content thingy PCGs, but I did so the one for substrate, and to my demise, I tested it and it doesn't look like it's working. I don't know why. Maybe, I don't know, like everything looks black. It shouldn't. It should have some sort of something, right? Maybe I should play and see if that fixes it. I don't think so. I'm guessing like it, for some reason, is maybe Strata is not loaded as a plugin, and that's why it looks like this. Yeah, this thing is not how it should be looking by any length. So let me start working around this thing. Let me see if substrate, nope. The thing is that they changed the name, right? From substrate to what? Substrate it should be. I don't believe. Oh, it's not a plugin. It is already here, but you gotta go to the project settings and see if it's on here. Let me check it out. So substrate, and it's off. All right. So yeah, first strike, epic. Like, all right. It's the birth pain as with everything. So warning: substrate is experimental. So experimental that we don't turn it on for our showcase of the thing. All right, that's it. Go ahead. It may be that it needs some. All right, my computer crash. All right, first crash with the new thing. Look at that. Maybe it's not crashing. Maybe it just found out that I have a bunch of substrate stuff in the scene, and the thing just decided to start, compiling shaders or doing something. But yeah, it was not on for some reason. It's bad. Bad. Yep, it is now called substrate. I'm going to call it substrata to, be an in-between of both. This thing is not coming back, so I'm going to simply shut it down. Yep, it's gone. End task. Let's run it again. There it is. Maybe I'm going to turn it on a scene that doesn't have a bunch of substrate materials all around. That may be the sensible thing to do, right? All right, so I want you to look at these enormous release notes. It's like it has everything. And the big thing here is what I was talking with Franco like a couple of days ago, like 5.2 should be, in my mind, like 507, something like that, right? Because even though it's adding some experimental stuff, nothing, that is out of beta. So no new actual features, just experimental features or beta features, like, for example, the PCGs and the substrata and a couple of other, quality of life, improvements as, any new version should have. But this is really, and they just said it right here. They said that bringing even more new tools to users. the 5.2 release deliver further updates and improvements to facilitate the creation of next generation real-time 3D content experiences as we continue to focus in making our features set robust, workflow friendly, and versatile, while keeping the needs of the different sectors in mind. So this is like, all right, let's make everything that we have better and more stable and more robust and, you know, workflow friendly. But it's not like a, it is not like 4.16 when they got, you know, sequencer for the first time. This is not like that. This is cementing, you know, whatever Unreal Engine 5 is set to do, like bigger worlds and everybody using, you know, world partition and everybody using Nanite and of course Lumen and, you know, all that thing. They need to make it work as, you know, 4.27 was working with, you know, cascade lights and cascade shadows and all those things that used to work very, very well. But this thing is more impressive, but still a little bit disconnected, right? So yeah, this thing is amazingly long to, you know, even though I, you know, give it for granted that it doesn't have nothing big new. Still, you know, yeah, the two new things is procedural content generation and substrate. Both, this one is experimental. No, this one is beta and this one is experimental. But yeah, like we have a bunch of virtual production improvement. It's weird to see them like right at the top, because, you know, lately, you know, the GDC was everything about Fortnite, right? And of course, we do have now Creative 2.0 and stuff like that. That's why, you know, the GDC was, you know, presented as, you know, what we do, how we do Fortnite with Unreal Engine 5 mostly. So having it like the top of the list is a little bit of, all right, so granted, you still care about, you know, ICV effects, and creating cinematics and using Unreal Engine as a cinematic tool, which is awesome. So I saw a bunch of these in the actual feature review video, and they're pretty good, pretty good. They do have now a separate app to control everything ICB effects wise on the volume. Like you can, you know, color correct. You have you can put like a little green screen like behind a character if you're having issues with more patterns or, you know, the thing doesn't really translate well. You can just for that character put like a green screen behind it and let the rest of the volume, you know, contribute to the actual lighting, which is amazing. It's like the best compromise, right? When things are not running well. The light cards, the flags, the color correction windows, I were testing those and I still have issues with that thing. They are amazing. There are exactly, it's like an application of the color correction regions, but still, and I want, all right, this thing started compiling. Oh, great. All right. Oh my God. Oh, maybe because I turn on substrate. That's why. So I did turn on. It never, you know, cared to show the actual enable thing, but apparently it did. So what I might do is to open up. Oh, this is new also. The actual Epic Game logo when you launch the launcher. Let me turn on this thing here that I know that it's already compiled. And talking about compiling, like this version have like the best gift that Epic can give to us, and that is that finally everything that comes with the engine is pre-compiled, which is, you know, amazingly good. That means, for example, that if you create like a new template out of scratch, it won't compile, you know, shaders to start. If you get like a project from somebody else, right, you're going to have to compile it, right? But at least stuff, if they're using stuff from, you know, the Unreal Engine content, it's going to be already baked on your computer, so you don't have to compile it. So, and they are, you know, expecting like 2 folds in speed of compiling because of some, lazy type of new compiling and preparing shaders. So I'm guessing like we should see a very good improvement. Like I was so amazed that I downloaded, and you can test it if you want. Like I downloaded the this thing right here. Yeah, the content examples, and it turned on like this without compiling anything, which was so refreshing, right? Knowing that everything that now you can download from the samples or from the templates, everything is going to be already compiled. At least the thing that are common among all Unreals. Amazing! Like I cannot be more happy just by having that with 5.2. Um, yeah, the shading, the compiling shaders, well, were getting like too much, right? All right, so let's check it here. What I was talking about, the window, color correct windows. So if you go here and you search for window, you're gonna get the color corrector window, which are like masks that you can create, not regions like the actual region thing. These are exactly like a mask. So if I take these and I lower the temperature, oh, now you're turning on. Great. I'm going back to you soon. So if I now grab my temperature and move it around, you can see that now I have like a cool mask, a mask of coolness. I don't know how to call it. Let me put it hot so it's going to be a lot easier to see. And these you can set on top of anything that you want, and it's amazing, right? But this is the thing that if any of you knows how this thing works, I would really want to know, because it's been bugging me since I saw this thing working. So even I believe it was at the start of 5.0 release, the actual region and the window have these enabled per actor color correction, and I was like, finally, now I can do color correction to one actor, right, and leave the other ones as they are, right? This could be massive for like characters and stuff like that, right, that you want to have them pop right from your background. So I was like so happy. All right, let's test this. So I'm going to drop my friend the cube, right? Now my friend the cube is behind the actual color corrector zone or window. And now I'm going to select this as a per actor control color corrector. And I'm going to set this to a new element, and I'm going this way. I'm going to set it like this, and it stopped working. I don't know what to do with this thing. Sometimes you can see a bare glimpse of a little bit of the color correction there, but it's simply not there. I don't know if this has to do with some sort of project setting that you need to enable. I don't know if it has to do something with stencils or some rendering order or some stuff like that that doesn't come as default. But this thing would be like so exciting if this thing worked. Granted, even though without it, it's pretty cool. I'm guessing with the modeling tools, because this is like a volume. You have like different like shapes, right? So if any of you have worked some at some point in their life doing actual color correction for films or for TV, like they work everything with just ellipse type of masks, and that's it. Like the thing is so subtle when you color correct, like you shouldn't go to bananas with the thing. Like just with a bunch of ellipses, ellipse type of masks, you can do like everything. You can uplift like a face, or down like set more dark on a corner of a room. Like everything is done with this kind of thing. So I'm guessing like this would work perfectly. But again, why have this thing here, the per thing, right, the per actor, if it's not going to work? I don't know. Like if some of you know how to work it, someone is I was hoping they released MetaHuman Animator along with 5.2. No, they were like, yeah, this thing is so cool, right? Now we're going to get it at the end of the year. So I'm guessing 5.3, maybe? Fall this year might be like a good time. Again, what I'm really amazed is the actual name that they give it, like MetaHuman Animator, not like MetaHuman Face Animator. Like this got me wondering, like if this thing is going to work in the end for the full body. That would be like too much to ask, but yeah, oh, we can only dream, right? For that one, we might have to wait for next year. I'm totally happy if I get the face animator just by the end of this year, for sure, like a Christmas gift. All right. So, all right, let me check this back. Let me first of all see if this thing is working. So, project settings. Let's search for Substrata. What did I do? There it is. So, Substrata or Substrate Materials Experimental is now on. So now we should be able to go to the actual substrate material level, and let's see in all its glory what it's all about. This thing is very cool. Like many different DCCs use this exactly dielectric approach to creating materials, which is, like a norm, like in many different DCCs. All right, so it has something like cloth. That is really not cloth. This is mostly what we call anisotropic type of effect, where the actual rays that hit parallel, that hit perpendicular, all right, should give some sort of effect, and the thing that goes at a glance should have another type of effect. Like this would happen also with rocks, and with plush, and with cloth also, right? If it's not leather or something like that. This one is subsurface. Maybe this slide is not the best to showcase subsurface, but yeah, it does have, maybe down here you can see a little bit of the subsurface, kick in. It's good. It's good. So yeah, emissive, great. But is it emitting? Let's see. Let's turn off the actual light. Oh, we're gonna have to turn off more than that light. Maybe this one. I'm sorry, my machine is still preparing shaders. No. All right. Cool. So what else? The folded, that's good. Subsurface, two-sided foliage. Great. If we go inside, we might see it. Yeah, we are inside the thing. Cool. So it does work. And clear coat. This is like the big thing. This is the main reason why we might need, actual substrate to do those kind of effects. Cool. Look like decals will also work with substrate. Let's see. I want to see that. Here it is. It is a decal. But yeah, this is not decal. This is what is called the legacy conversion. Like substrate will give you, let me close these statistics, will give you like this node in which you're going to be able to connect everything as usual, right? And then this node right here is the one that is going to do the actual change, right? But again, M decal legacy. So yeah, it is. So it's like a conversion of sorts. It's not actually how substrates work. Let me just search for something truly substrate. And I'm guessing like, yeah, of course, this is the actual legacy material conversion. So this is how everything connected as it would look if you actually use substrate for the thing. So you can keep connecting things as you used to. And this is the new thing. This thing looks great. Look at this. A new way of doing layering inside materials in Unreal. Like, yeah, another one. But let's see if this one sticks and they don't create a new one, in a couple of months. Oh, but this thing looks great. Yeah, doing this kind of materials would be like a task, right? So let's check this one out and see how it looks. It's so simple. it's there you go. 4 nodes, distant fields approximation. Oh, this one is good. This one will work if you intersect this thing with another thing, this mesh with another mesh. It should give you some sort of, yeah, like an ambient occlusion. Yeah. The thing is that it will also do it not only within itself, but with other things, which is great. So substrate vertical layer, this is the way of layering. You're not going to be using lerping anymore, like no more lerp. You're going to be using this thing right here. So top, bottom, and that's it, and a thickness. And this is a material function that I'm guessing, yeah, has like a, oh, this one is the actual substrate, BSDF. Yeah, this is how you now connect stuff in substrate. As you see, it's almost like usual, right? Give me just a second to fix my throat. All right, so it's kind of like usual, but now you have this F0, F90, roughness, normal, and a couple of other things here, right? Like secondary roughness and second roughness weight, FOSS amount, like what's the FOSS, right? Yeah, this is the new way. This has its own meaning. This is where you get like the new specularity, right? Or these are dielectric values, right? All right, cool. So let's see what else. What else is here? This one looks very cool. So it's like a combination, right? You have the like the golden type of thing, and you have the leathery type of thing, and then you can, you know, mix them both, and depending on how you look at it, it should look a little bit different, which is all right. Or you can do some sort of, you know, noise type of, you know, masking, right, to combine both, which is, yeah, amazing. What else? Adding and weighting. Yeah, we saw a little bit of that before. What else? This should be like the big change. Like the past methods of doing actual refraction were not that good. Now with the actual dielectric type of shading and calculation and everything, we should have very, very realistic refraction, and this is proof of this. Look at this thing. This thing looks amazing. Let me drink a little bit of water. Yeah, this is sweet. This is what we want for sure. All right, more anisotropic effects, and a very cool anisotropic effect. I still want to see that amethyst type of material that they showcase in the GDC. That's what I want to see. All right, so we do have actual decals, and the decals, yeah, they added like this weird effect, which is not bad. We have moving light functions and post-process. Look to the hall. Oh, now I'm drunk. Now I'm not drunk. Now I'm a little bit drunk. Cool. So again, let me just check out how this decal actor works. Convert to decal, substrate, decal, intro. Yeah, this one is actually a substrate, not a conversion. So yeah, this is the kind of thing that is going to turn out, you know, monkeys trying to, you know, make this thing work. Like actually knowing that, you know, after you get your normal, you know, substrate node, you're going to have to add a substrate convert to decal stuff with a coverage and with everything. Yeah, this is like a new beast, man. Learning all this stuff is going to take a while. But yeah, so that's it. Now we know that it works with volumetrics. It, oh, there it goes. The first crash of 5.2. All right, cool, 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 cool. Let it crash and restart. Let me just, turn off this one. Again, let me just remind you that actual Strata is experimental. It's not even beta, all right? So let's keep, look going through this thing, because you see it's huge. This thing is like too much. Like they really made like a bunch of little things, right? Like everywhere, and everything adds. Everything adds a lot. So big things, big changes in rendering. Nanite keeps getting better and better and better. Now you have, it will have these out of bound pixels. So world position offset should start working a lot better. Yeah, and that is great. And we have a bunch of other things. I'm guessing this thing down here, the DirectX 12 PSO, this is something that has to do on how it actually do the rendering, and this has to do also with Nanite. So these apparently will make Nanite a lot easier also to render, because of that pre-catching, right, of the shapes. Yeah, substrate. Yeah, like in Lumen, I don't know why Lumen has to do at all with shadows, but apparently it does. It's like the actual AO comes from Lumen and not from Virtual Shadow Maps. But yeah, there it is. We're bound to have like better shadow response in very little corners, and not like spread like all around the face, which is, yeah, amazing. Let's see if, are you back? Oh no, you're still compiling shaders. All right, live and learn. Next time that it turns on, I'm going to turn it off and then on back again. So let's keep checking this out. All right, so apparently not only substrate comes with the package, it's not on by default as we saw. So be sure to turn it on if you want to play with it. But it does have like a bunch of different new things, right? So it should be working a lot better in this version. Path tracer. Cool. I'm hoping this thing goes all the way until it replaces completely ray trace. Because even if it will never be as fast, like ray tracing will never be fast enough. So if I'm going to have to wait for a render, I wish to have like a proper denoise path tracer instead of a ray trace, halfway, right? So yeah, we have improvements in virtual texture. This is unexpected. We added feedback options to the runtime virtual texture sample node that disables requests to stream in visible virtual texture page. All right. Oh, all right. All right. So you can choose. With this option, you can stop the grass from requesting higher MIPS than necessary. All right. So it's a thing that is invisible. It should work. So it depends on, on the actual machine, to calculate it correctly. All right, cool. Everything that works better without me having to do something, it's, amazing. What else? We have enhanced shadow rendering. This thing is for ray trace, so I won't even, bother. I don't like ray tracing at all. Material improvements. This is cool. This is like a switching node that will allow you to switch the actual texture that is displayed with, a parameter. Like if it's 1, show this one. If it's 2, show this one. If it's 3, it's like a selector node for blueprints. But in this case, for actually texture, this one is pretty good. The max world position offset. This is a thing that is there just to make, world position offset compatible with Nanite. Like every time you, like in the same way when you use like pixel offset, it will give you that weird looking, like it lost like all shadows, and that is because the actual boundary goes beyond, the shadow, and you see like the unshadow version of your mesh. Well, it was happening something like that with the world position offset with Nanite. Well, these should, fix that thing. Comments and bubbles, good. Yeah, always have those in your materials, for later use. Temporal super resolution improvements and optimizations. This one I really like the now the if you set it to epic, the actual screen percentage for the TSR history is going to go to 200%. So these should help a lot with the trailing and with the vibration and everything. And now, you as you see, at the start, everything was like a black closed box. And, when people start testing the things, they want a little bit more control. And now, as you see, we do have a couple of things, opening up like with command lines and with things. So now we should have like control over the temporal super resolution, which is great. It didn't had the punch that it should, because, at the beginning, it was not better than the actual, anti-aliasing temporal thing, right? Like TSA. But now it should start, working a lot better. And it's a lot cooler because the actual up-resing of the temporal super resolution is miles better than what you can achieve with, the normal temporal anti-aliasing. So yeah, perfectly. The more control that we have, even though they think that we shouldn't have, the better, right? So I'm eager to test this one out. Again, more ray tracing tool stuff. Yeah, multi-view optimizations. This is great, and this is a thing that will kick the butt of ray tracing. And this is because with this multi-view optimization, not only, will make better use of your GPU when you have like multiple screens, but also it will allow you to do path tracing with more GPUs. So that means that, all right, if your path tracing is running slow, you can simply add more GPUs to your system, and you're going to have a better use of them for path tracing, which is wonderful. You have a new node to do, subsurfacing for path tracing. Great. This humongous thing, this is great. Like having full control of what is being rendered, having, the actual size of all the textures and all the buffers and everything. This is good. This should be 101. The first thing that you should take a look, if you're running out of video memory, instead of going, right away, all right, I need to drop all my texture to 1K. No, go here, figure out what is the thing that is, taking the biggest punch to your GPU, and work on, the nasty stuff first. Yeah, this is great. Yeah, and now we got to the thing, the shader compilation improvement. This is the biggest thing, right? So we got the new implemented new shader preprocessor that offers a two-fold speed in shader preprocessing. Yeah, welcome, of course, welcome. They reduce the redundant compilations of non-deterministic issues while caching shaders with this DDC. Yep, perfect. With the direct data cache, no longer have to wait to compile shaders when launching a sample project. Oh my God, this is, a gift from the heavens. The ability to do Unreal inside traces when you are doing the actual shader compiling, so you would know what is, taking too long to compile, so you can fix it. It's great. It's great. And where is it? There should be somewhere here where it says that if you get, templates and stuff, everything is going to be pre-compiled. So great. All right, this weird thing, I tested it. I thought that it was going to be better like this. this might be big, in the future. If they make this thing work, it's going to be a huge impact in your rendering times. And that is because this technology is being used currently for VR. What it does is that, at the center of your view, let me turn on my camera so you can see me. So at the center, oh my God, where is my key? It should be this one. All right. So at the center of your view, you're going to have like a better resolution, right? And, the actual shading rate, so the actual resolution of the shading is going to get lower and lower as, the thing goes, away from the center of your view, which works great, right? For VR. It's not the best for, many, type of desktop PC type of approach, because you're going to be seeing, the edge of your screen for sure, right? Because that screen is not like a couple of inches from your eyes. But in this case, it uses like the things that doesn't have like too much, like from this cube, what is going to give more importance and more shading rate, it's going to be the actual edges, because it thinks like there is where you are going to have like more detail, right? And for things that are completely flat, that have like this easy to render, shading, it's going to save, a couple of cycles. So yeah, this thing should start reducing the cost of rendering stuff like pretty soon. I tested it at least, on a couple of things. Oh my God, my cat is running my chair. And I didn't see any difference, but yeah. Yeah. Shoo. But yeah, let's see how it goes. So let's go back here. All right. And yeah, this thing is great. Audio. I has not been looking at anything audio-wise in Unreal Engine for a couple of months, for a couple of years maybe, because there's too many new things, right? If you sit down right now and try to understand that whole thing, it's going to be like doing like a master, like a whole career out of, making sounds and, all I know is that with, not with meta sounds, but with Quartz, you have like a full, sampler inside Unreal. You can do musics like rhythms and sounds and patterns, like everything that you would need, right inside Unreal, which is amazing. Lyra, where are you, Lyra? I don't know. It was supposed to be like this big thing, and everybody was going to build things in Lyra, like first-person shooter. Lyra was like the replacement of what we know as Unreal Tournament, the actual Unreal Tournament game. But yeah, that's now we have Creative 2.0, which is a lot better, right, than actual Lyra. But who knows? Maybe this thing is going to pick up, in the future, where they're going to add a couple more, cool things into it, and people are going to be. I tried to do like the first thing that got into my mind was I want to compete with people, and I tried to make like a multiplayer out of it. Impossible. There was no way to connect with another person, either across the room. So I was like, yeah, forget it. I don't like it. It's too hard. But yeah, as a framework, and maybe someone who might want to sit down and really, really, really take a look at it, it might be, perfect. All right, now we go to a little bit of, this is, I don't know what this is, the enhancements input support for common UI. I'm guessing like now you have these little assets that holds the actual input. You don't have to make it on your ini file. That's always good. Scriptable tools framework, like this is the best thing. Like this should have more of a coverage than actually PCGs and Substrate, because this thing is already working. And even though it's experimental, it already works with things that they are trying to push also. Like, for example, the modeling tools and the modeling scripting tools and all of that stuff. Like with this thing, you can create your own tools. connecting things that already exist inside Unreal. So you could have tools for anything that you want. It's like doing macros inside Unreal, that kind of things. So you're bound to save a lot of time, and you're bound to create, your own tools out of this thing. Like, I'm sure that I'm going to need one of those to actually animate with more than one metahuman in the scene. Like, because if you create a pose and you select the control from that pose, it's bound to select like all the controls that have the same name on the scene. If you have three metahumans, then it's going to select like the hand from all three metahumans at the same time, which is not great. So I want to see if I can make one of these to solve that issue. Modeling, like, yeah, there are a couple of new things with the modeling tools, which are, great. Like, the best thing that I found out, like, this jitter stuff is great because we have the pattern tool, right? Where you can create like arrays of meshes. But then you have the pattern project. And this thing works kind of a PCG, because then when it is created, like in this plane, you can project it into, the ground. So it's more useful because you can begin scattering things around this way. More ways of scattering stuff. It's always good, right? Baking tools. Like, yeah. I would hope that HLODs should do this on its own, but yeah, whatever. Like, this is completely uncanny. Like, you would not have this as an output if you bake this into this. But yeah, let's say you would. All right, so yeah, the geometry scripting, like many more. This thing is like having like a head-to-head, not head-to-head, they're pretty far down the line. But it's like the same thing as the Blender geometry nodes, right? So hopefully we're going to have, all that functionality within Unreal. Bone weights, like to check the actual bone weights from the details panels. It's good, I'm guessing. Yeah, the surface sampling, PCG-like style, right? You see that how everything is, being reused and, distributed among different, platforms or features within Unreal. This is great. Having, the ability to do this with modeling tools and also with PCGs. Yeah, great. And I'm wondering if they're reusing the same code or using exactly the same class. So now it's going to be a lot easier, to maintain everything up to date. Great. Sequencer. Many new things for sequencers. This is old. They said that is improved. So I would want to check this one out and see, what's the big deal now. Actually doing the connection of two camera cuts with, a transition. That's good. This one, don't know what this is. The actual root motion, blend first child of root. Yeah, I need to check this one out. Colors, great. Yeah, colors and everything inside the sequencer is also great. This one I didn't understand, but yeah, you have like new functionality with the actual marks. Like, you could move a couple of things together with the mark, but you are selecting them. So yeah, you select that, and then you move the mark, and then you move everything together. Yeah. All right. Maybe this was, asked by somebody who knew how to, maybe this is important for somebody. Retargeting. Yeah, having Python to help you with the retargeting, that's always good. It's close splines for control rig, also good. Like, I don't know if I'm going to go all the way down with this thing. Many new things, right? Little things everywhere. Like the ML deformer. Let's see how to work with this one. I don't know if this one is the one that you need to use through Maya, or is the one that you are going to be able to train by uploading alembic, right, movements, or alembic posing, right? So let's see. great having this thing working natively in Mac OS. Yeah, it was like, all right, welcome everybody back to the train of Unreal. Like they were like really led behind, a bunch of versions back. Like the thing was not running well by any means in Mac OS, or in any Mac. And now they have like this unique file to install it, and it will detect if you have like an Intel platform, or if you have some new M1, M2, M3 silicon, and it will install the appropriate version for it. It's great. Yeah, having more people with Unreal is the way to go, always. XR, yeah. And I'm guessing like this thing goes now more tiniest and tiniest improvement of things that we might never ever get to see. Like I need to go through the whole thing. Like I'm guessing I got up to here while I was, reviewing before I started the the live stream. And I'm guessing I'm bound to find some sort of golden nugget, at the end of all this thing. But yeah, sure. I'm guessing everything is like a good improvement. Nothing really stand off like too much. PCGs mainly. Substrate, if you get it to work, and learn it, I'm guessing it's going to also be good. But yeah. All right. So let me know in the comments what you find out to be, the most impressive things, apart from what we know, PCGs and substrate. What really caught your eye? In my case, is the compiling shading thing. Having faster ways of compiling is always, a need, with Unreal and with big projects, right? They want us to create like these huge worlds, but we need, huge amounts of assets. And with that comes, a huge amount of time, to compile things. So if they're working on making it a little bit, faster, yeah, that is the way to go for sure. They didn't. No, Franco, look at it. I was going to cry when I saw it. If you go modeling, no, it's the old one. So yeah, we can only hope, right? Maybe 5.3, we're going to have it, the same as UEFN. The modeling tools in UEFN are beautiful. Like not because they work better, but because, they are very, it's so easier. It's easier to find them out. I can launch it so you can all see it. So let me go here and there. And let me launch UEFN so you can see it with your own eyes. Do you see? Oh, it's this one. All right, let me launch UEFN. Where are you? There it is. All right, so my cats are starting to get in on rest. So very soon I'm going to end up the the live stream. So they did not add the new modeling tools in UEFN into 5.2. No, they didn't. I want to see if actually UEFN is going to continue in 5.1 or it's going to switch to 5.2. So maybe they are going to join back again in 5.3. I don't know. Like apparently, I'm guessing that I turned on the wrong thing. I turned on Fortnite. So Franco, do you want to go through a few matches? No, I turned on the wrong thing. Give me just a second. What I wanted was UEFN. So UEFN is based on 5.11, right? But it does have a couple of things that 5.11 doesn't have. Like, for example, that new modeling tools, right? Or the new scheme UI for modeling tools. As you see down here, I can show you. Oh, now it disappeared. Yeah, it's based on 5.11. And there are things in 5.11 Unreal Engine 5 that is not in UEFN. Granted, they need to, keep out everything that have no compatibility, right, with UEFN. Let me show you. Now it's turning on. Let's see how much time it will take to connect everything. All right, let's go. Let's go. Yeah, here we are. All right, cool. So let me switch this to be lit so you can watch it on its, yeah. And let's go modeling tools. Yeah, this thing is great. Like, why not, right? Why don't have it like this? This is the way to go. Look at this thing. Favorites. You have favorites just by that? Yeah. What a pity that we don't have that UI here. This would be, a lot better. Like finding things here is so impossible. But yep. So now here you can go for, the big thing. You need to use, the pivot for everything. Can I change the pivot on something? If I right click and I can add it to favorites. Now I can go to favorites and the pivot thing is going to always be there. It's like, all right, from all of these things, I will, use like a couple, maybe 6, 10 tools, right? Mostly. And having them here, would be great. All right. So with that in mind, let me go back here. Hello. All right. So apparently this Atem Pro, Atem Mini Pro, it's great. Like now I have like my own streaming machine separated from my computer. And that's what I wanted from the start, because apparently, in 2023, OBS is this beast that will eat up half of your CPU and half of your GPU, to show your face in a live stream. Well, this thing takes care of everything. Like I'm streaming right out of it with the, local area cable, connected to it. It's great. So now I feel much more comfortable, knowing that my machine is working great and that, the live stream is going to come out good. So yeah, expect more of these, in the future. I'm bound to, start streaming. Like I can start streaming with just a click of a button. So that will encourage me, of doing more of these, throughout the week. So let's see how it goes. I will see you very soon. And as usual, be good. Love you all. And I will catch you on the next one. Bye.